Well, hi everyone, it's Bronnie here again for another day in Bronnie's World, and it's day 1059. It's also the 7th of January 2023, which happens to be my husband and I's only daughter, our youngest, 34th birthday. So happy birthday, Mindy. I had to get that in there. She's a doll. We love our daughter. Anyway. I think it's quite ironic that it's day 1059. I was born in 1959 and she was born in 1989. So got the lines there, haven't we? So that's pretty cool. Sorry. Being dyslexic, I do a lot of association with words and numbers. It helps me to remember dates and things. And anyway, well, we are here with my favorite doctor in the world, Dr. Joel Wallach, and he's come to share with us. Actually, I don't know what topic he's going to actually talk about, because he asked me, Bronnie, don't you choose a topic this week. I'm going to choose it for you. Like, that's all right with me, because we've got at least 600 diseases that he can help people with. So every week is going to be a surprise for you guys. So with no further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my buddy, my mate, my best friend doctor in the world, Dr. Joel Wallach, who I'm absolutely loving every minute with and adoring our time together. And I pray you all are too. So check us out on the YouTube page. And just before I hand it to you, Doc, and I'll remind everyone at the end, remember, this Saturday at 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, we have our Q&A returning for 2003 that our two-star Jamel, not going to even try and say his last name, has. So if you want the link for that to come and ask Doc some Q&A questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to pass that through to you privately. All right, so Doc, the show is now all yours.
Okay, well, don't run away.
I won't.
Okay, so yeah, my last name is pronounced Wallach.
W-A-L-L-A-C. Oh, no, what yours is, but hey, listen, here's another fun fact. Our third son, speaking of our children, our third son, his name is Derek Joel.
Derek Joel.
Joel, same as your first name.
Yeah, that's right out of the Bible, Joel, the book of Joel.
Exactly. All our children have biblical names for their second names.
All right, very good.
But anyway, I was talking about Jamel, who runs the Q&A for Saturday afternoons here in Australia. He's the host for that, who brings the doc's Q&A. Now I've distracted you.
Okay, here we go.
I won't run away.
Okay, good. Here we go. Well, I want to talk about a very controversial nutrient. And of course, this is cholesterol. Medical doctors have demonized cholesterol incorrectly for over 100 years. They blamed the appearance of blocked arteries, plugged arteries, and high blood pressure to cholesterol. And as a result, they have created so many other diseases that we never had any knowledge of, because they created all these cholesterol deficiency diseases.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, of course, some of the more famous ones are Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease was not diagnosed until 1910. It was just like a couple of them. But when they came out with the anti-cholesterol drugs, the statin drugs that lower cholesterol out of your blood, at about 1960, Alzheimer's disease skyrocketed in every country in the world, because every doctor was putting everybody on statin drugs to lower their cholesterol. When they lowered the cholesterol, Alzheimer's disease went crazy in 1960. You have to appreciate that 25% of the human brain weight and 25% of the human spinal cord weight is cholesterol. Okay, it's called myelin. It's the white matter of the brain. Okay, and so they have created Alzheimer's disease. And of course, they're benefiting from that. They're getting everybody in all these nursing homes and treating them for memory and all this kind of stuff. Then another disease that we didn't see much of until just recently is MS, multiple sclerosis, which is a demyelinization of the brain, again, the cholesterol deficiency. And then a cholesterol deficiency of the spinal cord is actually MS, multiple sclerosis of the spinal cord, is called Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we're talking about disabilities and, all kinds of physical problems and so forth as a result, and memory problems. Parkinson's disease also deals with the disappearance of the myelin in the brain. And it's MS, multiple sclerosis, with tremors. Okay,
Okay.
Parkinson's disease. Okay. And then there's demyelinization, where you don't have a whole lot of external symptoms other than weakness, chronic weakness in all of your limbs and fingers and toes and back and so forth. You're maybe starting to lose your ability to speak and so forth. And the white matter of the brain is going away. And again, the white matter of the brain is almost 100% cholesterol.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. And so this has been a mess that the doctors have created with misinformation.
Mm.
And they should be held responsible for this. They should be paying out of their own pockets for anybody who has Alzheimer's disease, MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, and demyelinization, because the medical system has created it. Now, to me, one of the other problems that's even a greater issue to me, okay, from a cholesterol deficiency, is gender issues. Gender issues are initiated in embryos at the 4th week of pregnancy. This is when the neural tube is formed in the embryo, okay, in the brain. The neural tube is formed in the brain, and the brain is starting to do things when you're 4 weeks old. Remember, you're not born until you're 9 months old. So after your brain has started forming, you're going towards problems. Now, so why do we see so many gender problems today? No matter what country it is, the number of gender issues are going up. Okay, it's increasing for both gay men and lesbian women. Okay, it's going up like crazy. Well, that's because most women want to stay skinny, so they stay beautiful, and so they stay away from animal fat, which is cholesterol. They stay away from eggs, which contain cholesterol. They stay away from a lot of meat, which has cholesterol into fat, because they want to stay slim and look beautiful. Okay. Well, the brain, again, is 25% cholesterol. The spinal cord is 25% cholesterol. So when the baby's forming, when you have these problems, this just came out, I should say a month or so ago. Maybe some of this research came out a year ago, okay, but it's relatively new. And it came from, let's see here, the Stockholm Brain Institute. Okay, the Stockholm Brain Institute out of Sweden. Okay, and the author of the research and article is a lady PhD by the name Ivanka Savic. Ivanka Savic. And here's what she found in studying these babies, okay?
Yeah.
And she said that this happens before birth. She said it in her paper that was printed, okay?
So
these gender issues happen before birth, and the brain is forming, starting in the 4th week of pregnancy. And here's what she said. Okay. Gay men and heterosexual women who have normal sexual stuff going on, have similar gross brain anatomy. Both the right and the left hemispheres are the same size, but in the gay men, they have a electrical transmission issue because they don't have enough of the myelin, the white matter in the brain. Okay.
Yeah.
You're looking at lesbian women and straight men. Okay. The right part of the brain is much bigger than the left part of the brain in both lesbian women and straight men. And again, the lesbian women have an electrical transmission problem because they don't have the insulation material, cholesterol, the myelin in their brain. Okay. Now this is what she published in that article. Now, and then she said, of course, she sees these babies because they did an MRI study. It's the first time an MRI study has been done on the brains of newborn babies in big numbers. This is a big number, okay, that she did the study in.
Yeah.
And she said they had the gender issue problems at birth, and she was sure that it happened actually in the womb. And so that's when I did the extra research and found out when the brain was forming, got all that information on the 4th week of pregnancy and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so this is unimpeachable evidence. This is this lady PhD from the Stockholm Brain Institute did a long-term study on gay women and straight men and men who were gay men and straight women, okay, and lesbian women and straight men, and did all these MRIs in their brains and did MRIs in the brains of these newborn babies. And these babies had these defects in their brains, these gender defects in their brains when they were born. And so she said very clearly in these papers that were published, and they published them, they republished them in, hold on to your hats here. Let's see, the proceedings of the National Academy of Science in the USA.
Okay.
They reprinted those articles, okay, from the Stockholm Brain Institute in the proceedings of the National Academy of Science in the USA. Now, if they don't believe it's real, they're not going to publish it.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
This was a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what we don't know is if changing the diet can, in the early stages after the baby's born, reverse some of these symptoms.
Oh, well, we better do that study, hey?
So we're going to be working, okay, on these kids, even if they're like 4 or 5 years old and they know they have a gender problem already, right? Because some of it is not like all or nothing. Everybody's not the same. There's varying degrees of this gender issue.
Yeah.
There's varying degrees. Some are just like, I mean, crazy. And some they're able to control it and keep things
Very
quiet.
subtle.
Very subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm very excited about this because people will have their choices. Okay. What they're going to do about this gender issue thing. And one of the things right now in the US, and I don't know what the numbers are in Australia, you'll have to tell me that, but the gender issue in the United States, up until maybe 2 years ago, the rate of gender issues in the United States was 3% per year, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%. Now it's 7%. It's more than doubled, 7.5% or something like that. It's more than doubled. Why?
Yes, I'll have to try and figure out. I would imagine.
It's the economy. It's the economy, and all the people losing their jobs, are losing their health insurance. They're eating poorly because they can't afford to buy good food. Many are not taking vitamins and minerals. Okay. And so suddenly now, this is impacting the embryos at the 4th week of pregnancy when the brain is forming.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So if people are sexually active and whether they're planning on having a pregnancy or not, they better be taking these 90 essential nutrients. They better be staying away from the bad foods. Okay, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, no oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. All that bad stuff's got to go so they can absorb all the good stuff. And then they have to go out of their way. If they're sexually active, they have to go out of their way to make sure that they're taking in everything they need, including 3 eggs twice a day for adults, whether you're a girly or not. And then I like the I-26.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do too.
Yeah. And the label in the back here, it says supplement facts. It says this one serving of I-26 gives you 25% of your requirements, your daily requirements of cholesterol. You got it. It gives you 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. So I take, they come in chewables. So I like the chewables. I'll take one of the chewables, okay, with a banana and some berries and stuff like that for lunch. And then I have my 3 eggs for breakfast, which I had this morning. I had my 3 eggs for dinner. Okay, and I'll have steak at dinner, and I'll have salmon fillets with my eggs in the morning, with a couple of scoops of rice in the morning, a couple of scoops of maybe rice noodles at night, and so forth. No wheat, butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat. And I'm taking, of course, my 90 essential nutrients. Well, that's not true because I take 215 nutrients because I'm taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay.
Same.
2 of those a month. I'm taking a full dose of breakfast and dinner. And I take my MSM. I take 3 of those twice a day. Some days on the weekends, I'll take 3 times a day. That will help you maintain and rebuild your skull, your vertebrae, all your bones in your body, your cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue. Very important. And then I also take the collagen peptides. I take a scoop of that with my morning drink, a scoop of that with my evening drink. I take a scoop of the Beyond OsteoFX with my morning drink and my evening drink. I take the vitamin D3 so I can absorb all this stuff and put it where it belongs. And then I take 3 sweeties twice a day. I don't have diabetes, but I don't want to get diabetes. And since it's a nutritional disease, I just take it in advance, right?
Same.
Yeah. And then I don't have any high blood pressure, but because I don't want high blood pressure, I don't want blocked arteries, I take my Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I take 3 of those twice a day, and I don't have any of those problems. And of course, I do take Synaptive. I do take 3 of those twice a day so my brain cells can talk to each other. I do take my Zera test. I take 3 of the Zera tests twice a day so that I can, be a little boy if I want to be. Okay. Okay. And so it's one of those things. And I take my Rebound, my sports drink. I don't drink any soft drinks. I drink Rebound. Much of the time, especially when I'm not in the house, I'll take these sticks with me. There's 30 of these sticks in a box. Okay. Yeah. This has the full recipe of Rebound. 100 nutrients in Rebound. 100 nutrients.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah. I have 75 minerals. Do you know how many minerals Red Bull has, which is the most popular, best-selling one? You got it. Magnesium. That's all it's got. 1.
And you can't have magnesium on its own.
No, you need all 90 essential nutrients. So the only nutrient they add to Red Bull as a nutrient, a supplement, and is magnesium. Everything else they get from, they put in
lots of sugar.
Brewer's yeast. They put in brewer's yeast for some B vitamins and that kind of stuff. And of course that's what Bruce Lee did, and he died at 32. He was supposed to be the fitness guru in every country of the world. He was 25 years old, and he died at 32 because he ate gluten with every meal and every snack. He had gluten. And doctors said, oh, he died because he drank too much water. No, I studied his diet. I studied his supplement programming, and all he had was magnesium. And that's why Red Bull did magnesium, because that was the Bruce Lee thing. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's how they brought that about.
Make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and it breaks my heart too. It breaks my heart, Doc, as I know it does yours. All these young athletes just dropping dead on the field. I mean, this year alone, and we're only 7 days in. And
7 days in, yeah. It's one of those things where, again, the medical system has such respect from the general public. The medical doctors should say, well, you have a headache, shoot yourself in the head and the headache will go away. And so the guy goes in the back room, shoots himself in the head. Why did he do that? Well, his doctor said shoot himself in the head.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's the way people are. Whatever the doctor says, that's what they're going to do. They never question it. They never question it. They never question it.
And they should.
Well, they should.
You know what's interesting, Doc? They don't question them, but they will question me, and they will question you. I mean, I only let people know what I've learned from you and through the Certified Holistic Health Coaching course, which is all your research and stuff anyway. But they want to question what's natural instead of what's fake. Does that make any sense? Yeah,
well, you have to appreciate that nutritional minerals, which make up 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients, do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver.
Yeah.
And so the way you're going to guarantee you're going to get all 90 essential nutrients, especially the 60 minerals, with a supplement with them. Now, I'm going to show you and I haven't done this before, but I'm showing this now to the world now through Australia. This is me
Yes.
receiving, I've told people I received the Klaus Schwartz Award.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the only naturopathic physician that's ever gotten the Klaus Schwartz Award. It's kind of like the Nobel Prize of Biochemistry. And this
Yeah.
is Dr. Gerhard Schrauzer, one of the great biochemists in the world, biochemistry, PhD, okay, from the University of Missouri. And this guy here personally adorned me with that award, okay, at a big international meeting,
Yeah.
okay, in 2011, the Klaus Schwartz event. I'm so very proud of that. It's hanging in our museum. That the medal is hanging in our museum here in Longevity. But I want people to see that I actually got that award. Okay, the only naturopathic
Well, you've
doctor.
got many awards, though, haven't you? You've got
Yeah. I got plenty of awards, but
lifetime
that's
achievement of the national medical and
the lifetime achievement at the United Nations.
yes. See,
Okay,
on the
yes,
back
thank
of
you. It's all in your head.
this book sits on my desk right here. And in
Thank
fact,
you.
my husband has to come into my office to get it. I think I need to get him a copy of his own.
There you go. But the point being here is that we know, we have the knowledge of what to do here to prevent these things. We have the knowledge, okay, to prevent these things. Now I'm working on, can we take these kids who are born with a gender issue, and they can find out with an MRI. There's no radiation involved. They can do an MRI on them. Yeah. And they'll find out instantly if they have a gender issue as soon as they're born with an MRI. And if they do have a gender issue, we can put them on our program and keep our fingers crossed at that age and get them on the right diet, okay?
Yeah.
Get them on the right supplement program, and I believe we can reverse it when they're newborn.
How great would it be if we had parents out there, whether they believe, whether they know this or not, come and say, hey, I want to be part of that, because we know they're not going to do the kids any damage. We're going to benefit them because it's all natural.
There's no damage from an MRI. There's no radiation.
Yeah.
It's just
all
like
from our supplements because they're all natural.
Yeah. And so this is what I'm going to be shooting for, is to every baby that's born, okay, immediately within hours after their birth, they should have an MRI of their brain to see if they have a gender issue. You can tell from a MRI. This has been published. Yeah. You can see it. You don't have to be a genius, but you can see because the MRI pictures are in those publications.
Well, listen, Doc. I mean, when babies are born, they do the test for type 1 diabetes. They never used to do that years ago. They do all these tests, on babies when they're first born. Why not this one?
Exactly.
They're already doing all these tests on your babies when they're born, and I'm surprised a lot of parents don't even realize what tests are actually done on their babies the moment they're born. Sort of you're given this gorgeous little baby, but they're taking blood tests and all this stuff.
The doctors love type 1 diabetes.
Yes.
Because they start making money off that baby from the moment it's born.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's one of those things. So that's why they test them for it, because we don't want to wait until the kid's 3 months old and having serious problems and maybe dies. Let's test them as soon as they're born and get them going on a program here. And we'll start from hour 1 after it's born. Okay. And so that's kind of how it works. And so I'm very excited about this because the MRI studies they did on these gender issued adults. Okay. And this was so exciting. Okay. Now I want to talk about kind of on the same issue a little bit. Okay. From a little bit different direction. I want to talk about, again, I'm going to show you something here. Okay. Dead athletes don't lie. We've got the CDs now. We've got them in the package. We got the label on the package. Yeah, there you go.
Hang on a minute. I've got it stuck up on my thing.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
And the reason for that is, Doc, I noticed last week when I was watching the recording, when you take your camera off to show us that, it just takes just me, and I miss your beautiful face. So I thought, oh, I've got to print this out so I can show everyone and we don't lose your face.
Yeah, you show that to your patients, right?
Yeah.
You and show that to your relatives and friends and so forth. And this is one of those things where we can prevent all kinds of injuries. We can prevent death. Okay, we can prevent death because when you give them these nutrients, they're not going to die of a heart attack. Now, I'm the guy who found out why babies were dying of sudden death syndrome, SIDS.
Yes,
and
not
you,
the lady,
you know,
not the doctor in Sydney.
Well,
still haven't got hold of her yet.
Well, the original diagnosis of medical doctors was kids were dying of sudden death syndrome under the age of 1 year of age because the mothers were laying on them and suffocating them. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I do.
They said that for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Until I came along and showed that it was due to a nutritional deficiency. One of my attorneys, Jonathan Emord, he and I sued the FDA in federal court 9 times. We won. And so we were able to eliminate cystic fibrosis, one of a terrible birth defect, which they thought was genetic. It was real simple nutritional deficiency early in pregnancy. We were able to eliminate muscular dystrophy, which they thought was a genetic disease, very simple nutritional deficiency. And we gave it to Jerry Lewis 2 years before he died. And he was so excited that in his lifetime, we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. And he gave it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired him immediately and shut down the telethon. And he had raised $2.5 billion for them over 46 years or whatever it was working with them. They fired him and shut down the telethon. And then he dies, but I'm glad he knew before he died that we had found the cure and cause of muscular dystrophy. And then also, you don't hear of sudden death syndrome anymore because those nutrients in the baby formulas also prevent hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. Those babies are dying of the same heart disease that these young athletes are dying from now.
Yeah.
They're dying from the same heart disease that these athletes are dying from now. And if these athletes were to take our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, okay, take our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and take our Ultimate Daily Classic.
They need to take some Synaptive too to get their brains working again.
It's a Synaptive, yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Eat those 3 eggs twice a day, and use our Rebound for the 100 nutrients in it instead of 1 mineral and 4 vitamins like they have in Red Bull.
Yeah.
Do you believe that? See, Red Bull is primarily sugar and caffeine. It's an energy drink.
Yeah, and it's not good for your heart.
Yeah, ours is a nutritional sports drink. It gives you the energy because you have 100 nutrients in it. 100 nutrients compared to 2.
To 1. Red Bull only has 1
mineral. Red Bull has 1 mineral in it. We have 75 minerals. We have 25 vitamins and amino acids. Red Bull has 4.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Vitamins, amino acids. So
and 1
now
mineral.
We've got this information in this 3 CD set.
Yeah.
We go into famous people. Remember, we had this set out. Yeah, there you go. We had this set out for about 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
And suddenly now with all these athletes dying, everybody's kind of interested in this now. But back then, it was a fight to get people to pay attention. Okay.
I believe, hang on, can I interrupt you for a minute, Doc?
Yeah.
I believe, and Steve told me this, that if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure it was Steve that told me this, that the Rebound was actually tested by our Australian Sports Institute here in Canberra. And they passed it with flying colours as to something that doesn't contain anything that like how they test these things to make sure there's no drugs in there that athletes can't take, and apparently it passed with flying colours. So there's another institute, a sports institute, who are very tickledy.
Yeah, and you have, let's see, you guys, you have the the powder there, right? You have the
We have,
canister.
yes, we have the canister. That's all we have.
Okay. And so, yeah, there's 36 servings in here. And when, you know, when we may run out or something, or I haven't popped the top on a can, I'm not going to just pop the top and drink it because I don't want the carbonation. And
Yeah.
so we make, you know, you put a scoop of this in a bottle of water, and drink a little bit of water. I'll put a scoop of this in there and shake it up real good and drink it. You're getting your rebound with 100 nutrients in it.
It's really great when you're driving too, let me tell you.
Well,
If you drive long distances, you need it in your drink.
well, yeah. And are you working late at night for some reason or another? Are you?
Yes, I do, because I'm usually on Zooms. Because they're early morning for you, but you know, especially this
time. But if you do travel and you run into the rebound in cans, pop the tops on them and put them in the refrigerator for at least 3 or 4 or 5 hours before you drink them. That way, all the bubbly's gone. And
unfortunately, we don't have the cans in Australia, but you know,
it's coming. It'll get there.
Yeah, I think it's probably more to do with the shipping cost, the weight shipping cost. Yeah, because that's what shies a lot of people off, which is where auto ship comes in handy.
Yep.
But, you know that's what I love about auto ship. At least we cover that cost.
So again, the 3 CDs in this set, there's a new bull in town. That's what we call it, the new bull in town, because the old bull in town is Red Bull. So we're the new bull in town, right?
Yep, that's right.
So there's 3 CDs in this set. Dead Athletes Don't Lie. Okay. It goes into, each of these 3 CDs is an hour long. And people say, well, you know, nobody uses CDs or computers anymore. Believe me, there's plenty of people out there who listen to CDs.
Yes, there are.
And so, and we have examples of famous athletes who were back then, say 15 years ago, they were in their 20s and 30s dying of this hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart attacks. And this is very well explained in this CD. Okay. And then the second CD is Exercise Without Supplementation of Suicide. It goes into rich people who are CEOs and things like that. And they have coaches, but they're not taking vitamins and minerals. They're just exercising because they think that exercise by itself is good. Well, exercise by itself kills.
Yeah.
Because you sweat, and you don't just sweat out water, you're sweating out minerals in your sweat. And if you're not replacing them, plus you have to take in double when you're exercising because you have to replace what you're dumping and you have to then add on to it what you're going to use. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is very well done. Even I have to say so myself. Exercise on supplementation of suicide. And then what kills billionaires? The average lifespan of a billionaire in the United States is 66.7. Not very good.
No, my husband's older than that. I'm not quite there.
Okay. And then let's see here. The average lifespan of a professional athlete in America is 56.7. What's the average lifespan of a professional athlete in Australia? Ours is 56.7. So you need to find out.
I need to find that out too.
Yeah, learn that one.
It'd be roughly around the same age. But I'm telling you what, Doc, with all these athletes dying, a lot are dying in these last 12 months, even like I said, this last week even. I reckon that age is going to drop because all these athletes are in their early 20s. And it's
they're going to bring the average down. Let's see here. The average lifespan, life expectancy in professional athletes has dropped by 5 years in the last couple of years. And that is shocking. That is shocking, guys. If that doesn't ring alarm bells for you to take care of your nutrients and get that 9 essential nutrients in, I honestly don't know what will. We need to get some good athletes really onto rebound and promoting it, in the 90 essential. We do. We have some very famous athletes, of course. We have Theo Ratliff. I'll have them as my special guest one day, won't I? Yeah, you should have him on as a guest. But I'm trying to get hold of them. We have a woman athlete, all-American woman, Kelly Heron. She was a basketball player. Yeah. And did I show you her picture before? No. Okay, let me show you this quickly. She, what should I say? I shut this off so people wouldn't ring in, but it's worth showing you her
I
picture.
did the same with mine.
Yeah, she's 7 foot tall, and she
Oh
had
gosh,
all
that's
kinds of
tall for a
problems.
woman.
And she had all her knee and hip and back and neck and shooting arm problems. And she came to one of my meetings because she had heard so many good things after the Theo Ratliff stuff. Okay. And she said, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I can help you." And so we got her going on the program, and she became an All-American because we rebuilt her, and it was a miracle. Now, when you see this girl, okay, she's in her early 20s, like 21, 22 years old here. Almost there.
We're to save our babies and save our athletes.
That's correct.
We're to save the world.
Okay, here we go. Now, are you ready for this?
Yes. Gosh, you look really short.
Well, I'm 5'6" and she's 7 foot tall. She's in sandals. She's not wearing high heels.
Oh dear. Can you imagine if she was wearing high heels?
Yeah. And so, oh yeah, well, she's 7'6" when she's in high heels. Okay.
Oh
But she's
gosh.
one, we rebuilt her shoulders, we rebuilt her hips and her knees. And she's the only All-American woman do we have who's one of our great distributors. Okay. She's one of our great distributors. And she, she goes on. So you should also have her on and
Oh
interview
yes.
her. Okay.
I
She
just
will
got to
blow
figure
your
out how to
mind.
get hold of her.
Yeah, she will blow your mind.
Maybe
Yeah.
I should shoot Steve a message and say, hey, I need to interview each of these athletes.
Yeah, I'll give you a list. I'll give you a list of them, okay, and their email addresses and phone numbers and things, and I'll warn them you're going to be calling them, okay?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah. Okay, and so we have the information, we have the experience, we have the data. So this is not stuff we're just making up. What I want to find out is how many of these athletes that are dying at these young ages. I want to find out how many of them are drinking Red Bull.
Probably way too many of them.
I imagine most of them, because it was the energy drink,
And
of the famous athletes in the beginning, but then they all died.
And Gatorade.
Well, Gatorade was a big thing. Oh, absolutely.
There's a movie about Gatorade.
Let's see, Gatorade, and then of course the first sports drink was Coca-Cola's product in 1985. It's called Monster.
Oh yeah, that's not nice either.
And then Red Bull came out in 1987 as an Austrian, not Australian, but an Austrian guy. Okay, he was one of the two co-founders of Red Bull. He just died at age 78 a couple of months ago now, and they haven't released his cause of death. It'd be very interesting to find out, because he was bragging until the day he died that he drank 10 cans of Red Bull every day for 25 years, and then he died. Okay, and then of course Pepsi Cola came out with their sports drink in 2001 called Rockstar. Okay, and our longevity sports drink Rebound came out in 2011. And so ours is a totally different look. Rebound has 75 minerals in it. Red Bull has 1 mineral. Rockstar has 1 mineral. We have 12 vitamins and 13 different amino acids. The Red Bull has 4 vitamins and Rockstar has 5 vitamins. Okay, so we have 100 nutrients between the 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids, and Red Bull has 5 and Rockstar has 6. Because the energy drinks are primarily sugar and caffeine.
Yeah.
They have like 5 times the sugar we have, 5 times the caffeine we have, because our caffeine comes from the green tea that we put in there. We put green tea in there. There's a little bit of caffeine in it. Okay. Yeah. We don't add it. It just goes in with the green tea.
Yeah. Oh, It just, and all those other drink, you know, it just shatters me. You just, I don't even like carbonated drinks, full stop, never have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Okay, because yeah, carbonation
Have to be
neutralizes your stomach
absolutely
acid.
desperate and absolutely nothing else, and feel like I'm dying of thirst before I will have a carbonated drink.
Well, what you want to do is pop the top on it and leave it set for an hour or so. Don't drink it right away. Let some of that carbonation go away.
Yes. Well, I do that. I mightn't leave it an hour because it depends on where I am. If I'm, you know, out or something, and you know, I can't even get water. I mean, it's pretty
Okay,
sad.
well, we only have a few more
Places.
minutes left. We only have a few more minutes
Oh
left.
yes, so we do.
And so I want to throw one more thing in here since we're talking about athletes. I want to talk about arthritis and joint problems and so forth. And in our annual cost of arthritis treatment of symptoms, not prevention and cure, but just treatment of symptoms in the United States per year is $626.8 billion. $626.8 US billion. That's just to treat the symptoms. To treat osteoporosis in America, which is osteoporosis of the long bones, whereas arthritis is osteoporosis of the joints, really is what it is, okay?
Yeah.
But just treating osteoporosis of the long bones in the United States, not just the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it, we spend $2.5 trillion with a T. So you add the 626.8 billion to 2.3 trillion, and you get $3 trillion we're spending a year to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis in America. So why do you think so many doctors want to be orthopedic surgeons? $3 trillion.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, especially when you can do something about it. And
we can do something about it. No country should be having to spend any money to treat arthritis and osteoporosis. They're preventable nutritional deficiency diseases. They're not genetic, they're not autoimmune, they're not related to old age. Because in America, we have 300,000 kids in the United States under 16 years of age diagnosed with, quote, juvenile, unquote, arthritis. 300,000. 300,000 under the age of 16.
I have a friend whose second son was actually born with it.
Yeah. Yeah, babies can be born with osteoporosis, and there's a lot of them are paralyzed because they're born with osteoporosis of the skull, and the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. So the baby's born with paralysis, okay, from the neck down, and they think, they think it's one of these things like, what's some of these diseases of the brain where they get paralysis and so forth?
Oh, well, spina bifida can sometimes do that too, can't it?
Well, spina bifida is where the vertebrae don't close. Okay. So the spinal cord is showing. We're talking about the brain being good, but the spinal cord is being squeezed by the skull. Okay. And so this is, and says, well, the baby's paralyzed. And if they see that early in pregnancy, they'll want to do a abortion.
Yeah.
Okay. And that kind of stuff. And so all of this is avoidable. All of this is avoidable if people would just say, take a deep breath, say, okay, I'm going to give up soft drinks, and I'm going to go with
Rebound.
I'm going to go with the rebound sports drinks. Okay. We have the canister with the powder. We have the sticks with the powder. We have the cans. Okay. You get the cans, pop the tops, let the carbonation go away. We left it there because there's so many people in the world, they demand the carbonation. So if they want that, we'll leave them drink the carbonation ones. Okay. But we tell them what we believe about carbonation, but if you want it, we'll leave you get it. Okay. But arthritis is preventable and reversible. Osteoporosis is preventable and reversible in all ages. We take people who are in their 90s and they have osteoporosis, and in weeks we get rid of it. It's not an age thing. It's a nutritional deficiency thing. So Thank you for letting me stick that one in, the end here, because this is one of those things where we have so many people that need help because they're getting misinformation from governments and medical systems. And of course, osteoporosis of the skull is one of my new favorites. Of course, there's 37 different diseases you can get from osteoporosis of the skull. 37 different diseases.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. And so 17 of them are from the neck down because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. So 17 of them are from the neck down.
Yeah.
Okay. And 20 of them are from the neck up.
What's that saying to you? I mean, it's good that you put that in there, Doc, because really the number of people that have been sports people, in the past and retire or had to retire because they've been told they have arthritis of the thing, and it's because they played sport. Well, no, they've been misinformed clearly.
Yes, it's a nutritional deficiency, whether you play sports or not. Now, lastly, this is a human skull at the top. This is in the book. It's all in your head on page 6 in the beginning. The top skull is a normal human skull. It's a quarter of an inch thick. The top of the skull from the ears and above the eyes has been taken off. You can see the brain in there, okay? And the bottom one is osteoporosis of the skull. The same skull has been removed. And you see it's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick, squeezing all the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and squeezing the spinal cord.
Yeah.
But this will go away. This will go away.
Can't move either.
So, no, you don't want to give up on this because we can get rid of osteoporosis of the skull and get rid of those 37 different diseases. But the doctors always have to put them in an institution. It's just funny how the doctor owns the institution.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep our loved ones home where they belong.
Let's leave them at home with their loved ones, and let's get them on the nutrients and get them off all the bad foods so they can absorb the nutrients. And within, give me 90 days, usually many, in fact, most of the disease that are caused by osteoporosis of the skull like this will be normal within weeks and months. Very quickly, the skull is not just a poured, piece of concrete. It's very dynamic, and it will heal itself if you give it all the raw materials and stop eating the bad stuff, which interferes with the absorption of the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
and 90 days, at least you'll see improvement. I think it depends how vigilant people are, right?
Yep. Everybody needs to get this book for their family. One of these per family. And then Becca and I did a CD and some updates. And so when we reprint the book, all these updates will be in the book, but we'll keep the CD because a lot of people like the CD. Okay. Yeah. And
I haven't got the CD because I bought the book before the CD.
Okay.
Because I've had the book for a while.
Yeah. So next time you order, we need to talk to whoever it is that's ordering the books in Australia and New Zealand and ask them to, when they reorder some of the books, to order some of the CDs to go along with it. Okay.
Oh yes. I've spoken to Kevin and Karen, and they certainly do that, or have them on the way and waiting for the new ones to be able to.
And it's all in your head. Don't forget, it's all in your head.
Yep. It's all in your head. Yeah, so I got this. I'm looking forward to getting these when they come out.
Oh yeah, well they're out now. Okay, you just have to get whoever orders this stuff needs to order them. We're ready to ship them. They're in the box. Yeah. They're in the box. The labels on the box, they are ready to go.
Put your camera back on.
Yeah, you can actually go to www.drjwallach.com and you can look up. There's a new bull. Yeah, you can look up. There's a new bull in town, and they've got, along with all the other CDs and DVDs that are available for order, they've now got that on my website, www.drjwallach.com, so people can get this set of these 3 CDs. It'll blow your mind. It'll add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. Remember, I said healthful years to your life. I'm so excited about what this is going to do for middle-aged people with all kinds of problems.
Put your camera back on, Doc.
Huh?
Put your camera back on so I can see you.
Oh. There you go.
I got this, so you don't have to switch.
Okay.
only because you disappear. And I discovered that last week that you disappeared every time you print. I thought, right, so I'm printing this out. So I have it to show.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
Doc, well, it's been a wonderful morning with you again, and look forward to next week. And remember, everyone, if you want to ask Doc questions here in Australia every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, so it's always 7 p.m. wherever Doc is in LA on Friday night. But here,
Bronnie, you are a great angel of God.
Thank you.
Thank you enough for sharing information with our loved ones and friends in Australia and New Zealand. And I spent a lot of time in both Australia and New Zealand when I was in the Air Force, so I consider you guys my relatives.
well, that's a great honor, I must admit. So, but anyway, so guys, if you want that link to come to the Q&A and you have a question for Doc, or even if you just want to come and listen in and see the format of how we do our Q&As and then ask your question next week, then that's fine too, because I know I have a lot of people who do that. They come in to see because they're a little frightened.
Yeah, send Bronnie questions and we'll see what our story is going to be next week.
Exactly right. I keep saying to people, ask me your question and I can ask the Doc on your behalf as well. All right. Well, it's the top of the hour and I'm not sure if we got to go to the Philippines today or not. So we'll end this. So here in Bronnie's World, I ask you all really nicely to stay safe.
I'm off to the Philippines. I'm off to the Philippines today. I'm headed that way right now.
Awesome. So stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear. And when you have the best doctor on the planet on your side, we can help you be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely brave and live younger, longer. Right, guys, thank you very much for coming by, and we will see you again here tomorrow in Bronnie's World. See you, Doc.